Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is March the 16th, 2021. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Fitting in is overrated. Be a unique beast. One day closer to an all-time high. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin 5-digit realm. I'm offended by selling. Hey, compete, don't complain. We got a guy that's competing today. You have probably seen his billboard on social media. Robert Valentine is here. He is in the Netherlands. He is running for the Dutch House of Representatives, and he is a Bitcoin guy. So, Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, well, let's start off right. The election is tomorrow, so
Yeah.
people, this is going to be a good interview. If you want a Bitcoiner in the Dutch House of Representatives, retweet this now. Spread the word out there now to all your Dutch friends, to everyone, to just get it out there, because it doesn't take much to win one seat in the House over there. It's a very small percentage they need. It seems to be like an Israeli, the way the Israelis do the election. It's about you vote for the party, right? And then, well, we can get into that in a second.
Yeah, I'll explain.
But we want to get into what has been the feedback on this billboard, and why did you decide to do that? And of all things, Bitcoin, you talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I came on the idea because of Boris van der Ven. He's a famous Bitcoiner in the Netherlands, host of the Bitcoin Show and other shows in the Netherlands. And he explained to me that there is something what I now call the Bitcoin to libertarianism funnel. He said, yeah, I was a Bitcoiner first. And after I was introduced to Bitcoin and I invested in it and then I started researching it, I became a libertarian. So I know Bitcoin already for a long time through the Libertarian Party. I've been a member of the Libertarian Party since 2013. I ran for office on several occasions. And I know Bitcoin because of the party and the way, because I believe it's libertarian in its core. So I decided to have a campaign focused on Bitcoiners. There are 400,000 Bitcoiners in the Netherlands. And I wanted to have something that stood out and that showed people that we embrace Bitcoin as a solution for a revolution, actually. You know, we need a system change. We're the only party that criticizes the system and doesn't want a change of puppets. And we want to have a fundamental change of the system, and Bitcoin and blockchain can help us with that. So I want to have a campaign focused on that. And well, everybody knows the laser eyes until 100K meme, and it's famous in the Bitcoin community. But I thought if I use it on a huge billboard of 13 by 10 meters, you have to do that in feet. I have no idea how many feet it is, but it's large. Then it will stand out, and people will notice. The Bitcoin community will notice, but also people who will think, "What's going on? This is a political sign with a guy with laser eyes. I've never seen that." So it's sketchy, and it worked. You know, we went viral with it, and the Bitcoin community worldwide noticed it. So that's what's with the idea, and that's what happened.
Well, and it says Bitcoin is the future on it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so guys, check out the links below. Pound that like button. I have linked to Robert's Twitter, to the actual picture of the billboard. I actually used it as the thumbnail for this video, and the Libertarian Party is also linked to below. So tell us how the elections work and how many votes you really need. It's a small country, first of all. So,
yeah.
But percentage-wise, to get one seat, you only need a few votes here. So that's why I'm telling you, people, you put this out there in the next 24 hours, it could make a difference here. So spread the word.
100%, yes. Especially, like I said, we have a focus on Bitcoin. We're the only party who has an extensive Bitcoin point in their program. And you only need 0.67% of total votes cast to get a seat in Parliament, in our House of Representatives. So it depends on how many people show up, but that's between 50,000 and 70,000 votes. So definitely, if people are watching and they push this in their community and they push this to people who can vote in the Netherlands, it can make a huge difference. Because one seat will give us a platform to build upon for the next coming years. It's a small country, and we need everybody to get on board with this.
Well, I mean, to have a hardcore Bitcoiner, I mean, this is, if you go to your campaign site, it's one of the first things that's mentioned. One of your first things, your big issues that you're concerned about here. What's going on right now? There's a lot of KYC nonsense over there. You want to reverse the draconian KYC AML regulations, and abolish the wealth tax on Bitcoin holdings.
Definitely.
That's pretty unfortunate that there's a wealth tax over there on Bitcoin holdings. It's making me grind my teeth. So yeah, tell me the state. I mean, there are a lot of people from the Netherlands, first of all, that are into Bitcoin. If Boris, who's been a guest on the show many times, can have a Dutch-speaking show, it's pretty big over there. So tell us what the state of Bitcoin is in the Netherlands right now, and do you really think you can get this stuff reversed, because it is draconian?
Yeah, so there's 17 million people living in the Netherlands, and there's like almost 500,000 people who own Bitcoin. So those are actually old figures. So 1 in 20 people own Bitcoin in the Netherlands, and I think most of them will come to see what Bitcoin and blockchain means, and will be attracted to the libertarian platform. And I believe it's I'm not sure what your political background is, but like as a libertarian, like agorism is one of the things that we focus on. We want to build a good alternative for the system there is, and blockchain is just that. It gives an escape hatch to the central banking money scheme. And I believe if we promote this, it's already starting with promotion. If people see that this is an option, I already see other parties taking over our stance. So if we get elected, with one of the key components of our campaign being, the deregulation of Bitcoin and stop taxing it, it will give a good example to other parties. So just by getting elected, it already have a ripple effect to other parties in parliament. And when we're in parliament, of course, we will advocate for reversing those rules. And I think we will have a good chance doing that. Yeah.
You talk about other parties. The Pirate Party, is that still in existence?
Yeah, it still runs. It's still here.
Okay, so they talk a little bit about Bitcoin and maybe libertarian stuff also, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, of course, like the Pirate Party originated from a libertarian point of view, libertarian philosophy, but in the Netherlands they took a turn. They're still really keen on privacy and really keen on digital freedom, but they started to move more towards socialist agenda. So that part I don't like.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and it is unfortunate. It's another small party. It could take away votes from you. But hey, compete. Don't complain, as I say. You're getting it out there.
Competition, but before, right? Competition.
Yes, competition. Now, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, there's a Pirate Party, but our system works like that. We have 13 parties in Parliament, in the House of Representatives. You have 2 in the United States, and maybe 4 competing seriously. But we have 13 in Parliament, and there's 37 parties competing. So that's like, that's 24 new ones, and Pirate Party is one of them, and we're of course one of them. So it's a crazy system out here.
Yeah, from what I saw on Wikipedia, I linked to it below. Right now, your house, there is no small party that's in there that only has 1 seat, right?
No, there's a party who has 2 seats, though.
Oh, there is.
There's a few parties who have like 2 or 3 or 4 seats, and there's also some people who broke away from an existing party, took their seat with them, and now are by themselves, and also running to get elected again this election. So yeah, there's several parties with 1 or more seats.
All right, this is good to know. Now, what are some other? I noticed on the site, you also talked about the virus. What your guys
Mm-hmm.
stand on the viruses. I think people want to hear about that a little bit also, or a little bit of a beyond Bitcoin moment.
Yeah, yeah. Well, of course, since this all started in December 2019, I was amazed by how my social media reacted to the way China was handling the coronavirus, and I think that most of the response comes from copying what happened in China instead of looking at the facts. So I was like already pushing back then and getting a lot of heat about because, well, China was doing it like this, so it must be worse. And I never understood it. I always looked at facts, and then one of the first things I read facts, a research from Italy when it hit Italy. So that was almost a year ago, 2020, in the first quarter. The research said most people who die in Italy are 80 years on average and have multiple illnesses. Half of them have 3 or more illnesses. I do not understand why we have this course worldwide where we have to lock up healthy people for a few people who die from this virus, who are already in bad shape, who are overweight now also seems to matter a lot. So as a libertarian, I'm appalled by the way this crisis is being handled, and I don't understand that they took this course of action. We have a curfew right here. We cannot leave the house after 9 o'clock or you get a fine. We're not allowed to go to, all the stores are mandatory closed. All the cafes, restaurants are closed. It's crazy. It's crazy. We are bleeding money, like 700 million euros every week, I read somewhere. This is devastating for our economy. It's devastating for our welfare and well-being. And I think it should stop immediately. And we should go back to a normal way of living. And people who are afraid of getting the virus and dying from it, they have the possibility to stay at home and to impose their own curfew and do not go to restaurants. But this will not help anybody. It's devastating. And the financial implications still have to be, dealt with in the future.
Yeah, you are right on the money on this one. Everybody followed what China was doing. China it's been a great victory for the authoritarians of China to spread their way all over the globe, and that is sickening. And that is against the way of freedom-loving people. China is the complete opposite of what freedom is. But unfortunately, many have, because of fear, have adopted the Chinese model. Now, here in Florida, no. That's not going on like that. So pound that like button for Florida. Get rid of your darn curfew. I like what you're thinking there, and keep speaking the truth about that. Very good. You're right on the money with that. Now, there's your purchasing power here. You talk about on your site also. Lower taxes by 20%. Oh, I love it. Less bureaucracy and unnecessary regulation. We are here in the United States. We're printing money like crazy right now, and taxes are going to be raised. So tell us about your tax stand a little bit.
Yeah, so you have to understand how the taxes are over here, especially compared to Florida, but even any other state. Like I made a Twitter post a few years back because I looked into the state and federal tax burden in California and New York, well, the most socialist states you have. And I would dream to have their tax regime in the Netherlands. It's fucking amazing. Oh, excuse me. I shouldn't. It's amazing. It's amazing. I want that. Like if we could have a combined tax, which does on like it was $100K, which does not exceed 25%, I'm stopping with politics. Like I've done my job here. We pay up to an amount of 50% on our income and 20 to 25% on our profit if you have a company. And if you have any money left to spend, you have to be taxed 21% on any goods you purchase, 10%, 9% on food. If you are a genius in this country and you are able to save money, then if it goes up until a certain amount, you have to pay taxes. Then if you die, you're slapped again with more taxes. It does not stop. It never stops. So this 20% is like is like on the low side. That's like the least I want to do. I want to have like a tax-free income of 40,000 euros at least. I want to have a tax-free profit of 40,000 euros as well, and a small flat tax above that. I think it's just crazy, and there's so many rules. Like I like the World Bank ease of doing business. It shows how good it is, how easy it is to start a business and to run a business in the country. And the Netherlands is always seen as, a classic liberal country, which is true in the beginning, in the history when it was started. But now it's the largest party, like the Conservatives. They changed their program this election run, saying, yeah, the Netherlands is in essence a socialist country. So we want to have a large role for government. And well, they're not for deregulating and not for lowering taxes. And we're the only party who wants to make it easier for small and medium enterprises to start a business or to run their business or to start a business. And because, of course, this is how welfare is created. I mean, you can say a lot about China. I mean, they're authoritarian, but even they saw 30 years ago that by deregulating and allowing a little bit more free market into their country, that it helped 300 million Chinese people to go from absolute poverty to middle class. This is something you cannot achieve with government programs, and people here do not understand that.
Yeah, ease of starting a business is very important, and China made it easier to start a business. So that's good for them, and it's good. It would be great for the Netherlands if it became easier. Now, which party dominates right now the House of Representatives?
It's called the Party for it's a VVD for the People's Party for Freedom and Democracy, and they have 33 seats in Parliament of the 150 seats we have, and in the polls they're also still having a high amount. So they will probably become the biggest party, and our Prime Minister will probably have another term.
So are they a leftist party?
Well, I often compare, the Republican and Democrat Party to the Netherlands, and I say the Democrat Party is more right wing than our most right wing party who is in office now. So it's our Overton window is so much towards socialism. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
What's the name of that dominant party again that you just said?
The Party for Freedom and for People's Party for Freedom and Democracy.
Yeah, it sounds like something out of North Korea. The People's Party for.
yeah.
It sounds like one of those. Very interesting. So you've got an interesting background too. Your dad is from Texas. You were telling me.
Well, I lived in Texas. My dad is from Arkansas.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So were you born in the United States or?
No, my dad was in the military, in the Air Force, and he was stationed here in the Netherlands and at an Air Force base. So that's how he met my mom. And they traveled around, or my mom actually followed my dad around, when he was stationed at different places. I was always born in Turkey, but my mom went back to the Netherlands before I was born. I was born in the Netherlands, and then we moved to Houston, Texas, and I lived there a few years until my parents got divorced, and I moved back to the Netherlands with my mom.
Well, Houston, of all the cities in America, that's easy to set up a business there compared to many places. You could have like next to a church, you could have I don't want to say the word, a place where women dance. The zoning there is lax. It's an interesting place. It's very spread out, like LA, but it's Texas. Texas, everything's bigger in Texas. So that might have did that have an influence on you? Because they're a little libertarian over there in Texas. There's freedom.
I think so. I'm not sure if it's something genetic or it's something I rolled into because I'm American. I was always interested in the United States, and as soon as I become more, politically conscious, I started looking at American politics. And one of the things I never understood, and I think also 9/11 had a role, because that's something I was awakened from. Hey, there's stuff going on around you where you have no influence on, which is bigger than you, which does impact your life and things what's going on in the world. You need to research this. So after I was made aware of, there's just stuff going on politics going on without me knowing it. I started looking at American politics, and one of the things I didn't understand at some point is that why the United States was, helping so many countries around the world with their military. And I thought it was such use of everything, actually, and there was nobody really that I found who was addressing the fact that the interventionist policies of the United States, except for one politician I came across. That was Ron Paul. And then I found Ron Paul, and after I met Ron Paul, I read his book, Revolution and Manifesto. And after reading his book, Manifesto, I said, this is it. I believe this is what I believe in. This is what I think is the most human thing you can do. And I want to get active into this field and in politics and effort. I think it still took a while before I became politically active, but I was already libertarian, in mind. And then in 2013, I joined the Libertarian Party. I wondered, is there a Libertarian Party in the Netherlands? And there was, and then I joined them, and I've been with them ever since.
And now, how long have you been in the Bitcoin for?
I think it started also around the same time. So in 2013 and 2014, I just had a talk with someone from the chapter of Amsterdam. I live in Amsterdam, and I said, "Do you remember that our chairman of Amsterdam was really enthusiastic about the fact that Bitcoin hit 100 euros?" And like I said, a lot of people in the libertarian movement have been into Bitcoin and blockchain since the early days because they understood what it was. And I have to admit, I did not back then. I heard the story, I did not read the white paper, and I thought, okay, interesting. And but I had to be exposed to the concept a lot of times before I thought, hey, I now see what this is and what's going on. And to be honest, that's still a learning curve. I'm still, especially the last 2 years, have been diving more into it. So the implications, the ramifications of what Bitcoin will do, I think it's totally clear to me now. But it was a process from 8 years, and now I'm getting everybody in my environment to invest in Bitcoin. Like my girlfriend started, and she started like a half year ago, and yeah, and she's getting a lot of people into it. It's crazy.
Well, I hope you have a strong hand and have been holding on to that Bitcoin and haven't tried to do anything crazy with it. Like so many people have regrets that they had it early on and they got rid of it, traded it for some altcoin. And are you pure Bitcoin guy, or do you care about the others?
No, that's something that's like the process I'm in had also to do with that, and seeing the value of Bitcoin compared to altcoins. That's something that's really, really new to me, actually. That's something that started like somewhere within the last year. So yeah, I also do hold other coins, and I think Boris said you can hold other coins, but it's gambling, and I think that's true. But I like to gamble, so we see what happened with those ones. But I believe the fundamentals of Bitcoin, up front at first.
Now you're number one on the list, on the Libertarian candidate list. If you only get one seat, you get in. Yeah. Now these other guys on your list and women on your list, they're women and men on your list. Are they in the Bitcoin also?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually, one of the guys who really got me going with this is on the list as well, and he's been into. Well, to be honest, he's more of an altcoiner. Like he's not really a Bitcoin. But there's several people who have a hedging strategy. Real estate, Bitcoin, gold, and silver. That's kind of the thing. Yeah.
Well, I want to go back to your billboard real quick. You saw it all over Twitter. Everybody's retweeting it and everything. People were very proud of it, to say the least. Did you get any Americans like me try to reach out to you to interview you or anything like that?
No, not for interviews. I've been interviewed in Dutch Bitcoin magazines. It came online today, and I saw some real big, Twitter accounts into the Bitcoin community retweeting and tweeting it. But you're the first one.
Yeah, see, and this is the thing. This is the thing about the cryptocurrency space, the English-speaking cryptocurrency space. Okay, and it's pathetic. It's what I'm about to say is pathetic. You are trying to make a huge difference over there in a very modern country. Okay, everyone's retweeting you, but no one's reaching out to you to put you on their YouTube channel because they'd rather talk about the altcoin flavor of the month, or have some stripper on, talk about some ICO or whatever. It's the most mindless stuff out there. This is a unique beast, everyone, okay? We are using our heads here. This is best guest in the freaking space you get on this channel, okay? You get real stories that nobody else is talking about. This should be on the cover of freaking CoinDesk right now, and on the cover of Cointelegraph right now. Because it doesn't take much to get into this House of Representatives. It takes so little, 0.67%. That is unbelievable. That is so unbelievable. So any bit of coverage could make a big difference, and yet this is what you get. You get onto the BitcoinMeister show, which is great, but we're 24 hours before the election and everything. So I'm disappointed I'm constantly disappointed in the cryptocurrency media and the people who are just slaves to the freaking YouTube algorithm that are just going to talk about whatever is popular. So dudes out there who are actually watching this, who are using their brains, spread the word out there. And dude, you keep on doing what you're doing, no matter what happens in this election. If there's do it again in the next election, keep on, or get other people to keep on carrying it on in your Libertarian Party. It's just it's great to know that in a party out there, Bitcoin is a huge part of it. I'm not a big political guy, but if they're going to be promoting Bitcoin, then hey, what the heck? I wish in America we could have Bitcoin be as big of a part of political parties, what they say that it is for you. So anything else you want to say about the election, about the Libertarian Party, about Bitcoin, anything? The floor is yours.
No, I'm grateful for being on here, and I love your energy. And I think I think we have a lot of reason to be positive. You know, Bitcoin will break the system and will give us an alternative we can really bank on. And yeah, I love every support that we get from Bitcoin libertarians worldwide, because if we can create an example in the Netherlands of a party running on this platform and getting elected, like I said, it will spread in the Netherlands, but not only in the Netherlands, it will spread worldwide. We will keep on pushing this Bitcoin message. I believe in this Bitcoin to libertarianism funnel. I want to fan that flame, so more people get into Bitcoin and more people go into libertarianism as a consequence. And yeah, but I believe we're on the winning side. Whatever happens, we are on the winning side, and we will keep on pushing this message. I had some calls today with some of the party members and yesterday night, and they were all psyched about what we achieved and all the attention we got this election. They said, whatever happens, we will push through, you know, and we will keep on spreading this message. And yeah, it's a strange times we live in. I think nobody would have expected this to happen a year ago. I saw my worst nightmare unfold, and it's not ending yet. So I will definitely not stop fighting this, you know, authoritarian state where we live in. And I hope everybody, you know, you already defying the system by buying and holding Bitcoin. So I hope everybody does that. I hope everybody who likes us votes for us. And yeah, let's keep on building this coalition. And thank you for having me on the show. I love it.
Well, Robert's got some conviction out there. I've got some conviction. Everybody out there, pound that like button. Spread the word. Everyone talks about a spark. This could be the spark of something big. He is in motion. You gotta put yourself out there. So I give you all the credit in the world for putting yourself out there. You're not complaining. You're competing. There's so many people in libertarian circles. All they do is complain, blah, blah, blah. It's all theoretical. You're putting it out there. So dudes, help him out. Spread the word. That's it, everybody. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Everything that we talked about is linked to below. You want to see his site, follow him on Twitter, everything. You see the billboard. It's all linked to below, so check that out. Pound that like button, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot, Robert and everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right.